Hey guys, today we're going to do something simple yet classic. As you can see by the photo, it's just black and with some silver. And we're going to do a black and white Mokume. Okay, so what I have here is black. I'm going to roll this out with my text. Oh yes, I've gone up a step. I've got a texture sponge. With a texture sponge. I have 3 white and 3 black rolled out on a number 3. And here I have a black scrap that's rolled out on a number 6. So I'm going to do this part first. So I'm going to move my clay out of the way. I don't want it to get any mica powder on it. This is May Spring. This is from the Geode Art collection, guys. This is really, really good. I do recommend this mica powder. This one in particular is brilliant, and I'm using it quite a lot. Okay, and actually there's a discount code and a link in the description box below if you're interested. Anyway, so I'm going to cover this in the mica powder. Give it a real good coat. It's a bit much. Okay, and now I'm going to take a bit of varnish. I'm using Deco Patch. Give it a shake. Okay, I need to clean the lid a little bit. Right, now I'm going to take a nice fluffy brush. I'm going to dip it into the varnish. I'm going to lightly coat this with the varnish. This is a glossy varnish. I put a bit too much. Wipe some off. I think that's looking all good. Okay, now I'm going to sit this aside and let it dry. No, I'm not. I'm going to mix. I think I'm going to make this a little bit more brushed. So I'm going to mix a little bit of my varnish in with the mica powder. And this is the nearest metal effect I've come up with, and that is mixing the two together. Again, this mica powder, May Spring, the silver lining, this is actually a metal powder because it has aluminium in it. I keep struggling in that word. I'll just go with the English version. I'm going to make it more brushed metal. So I want this quite thick. So more powder than the varnish. Again, I'll just do this first so this has time to dry. Then we'll work on the Mokume and the other parts. More powder. This actually tends to work better if the varnish is a bit old and starts to dry a bit, but that's okay. We'll work with this. And you want it to all go in the same direction, one direction. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. Okay, so I'll put that aside. Right now, I'm just going to take this up and I'm going to put it, it's been leaching for a little bit. I want this to be not too sticky. This has been leaching for about maybe 5 minutes on the paper. So now I'm just going to lift it up and lay it on my glass here. And just leave that to dry. Okay, so while that's drying, I'll just give this a bit of a clean. While that's drying, I am going to condition this on my pasta machine, roll it through on a number 3, and then I'm going to put it like this with the clay behind the sponge and roll it through on a number 3 as well. Before I do that, this has been sitting out for a little while, so I'm just going to spray this with a little bit of water. And will have a less of a tendency to stick to the clay. Okay, so I'll come back with this rolled out on a number 3. Okay, here it is. I'm just going to cut off the excess and clean my blade. We want this black to be as black as possible, so we don't want anything contaminating it. So take that off and that. Now I think I'm going to make a circle for this one, and I just want to make sure I have enough clay. And I do just. Okay, this is a 5 centimeter circle. I'm just going to place it down so I can see where I want to concentrate. You can see just there's a very slight imprint of the circle. Okay. Okay, so we're going to leave that to sit, but I'm going to leave this to sit upside down because I'm going to dome this and I want this to be sticky. And I don't mind the front being a little bit slightly leached. Okay, so we put that aside. Now we're going to go for the Mokume. So I want the white to be on top. As this is mainly black, I'd like to be the white, concentrating on the white. So black, white, black, white, black, and white. Okay, now I'm quite simply, get a hair in it, or fur. I'm quite simply just going to squish it and pull it. Save a trip to the pasta machine. I'm going to use my roller. Okay, and I see an air bubble. Voila. And now we're going to cut and stack it. Do the same again, roll it out. Give it a pull. And cut and stack it a second time. So we want to get it down to about, I'm going to roll this out in my machine on a 1, so I want to get it as close to a 0-ish as possible. I don't want to put any extra stress on my machine that doesn't need it. I think that's looking quite good. Okay, so here we have that. I'm going to go put this through the machine, bring it back to, bring it on a 1, and then I think I might use some foil. Okay, so here it is rolled out on number 1. I don't need all of this, so I am just going to cut it in half. Okay, and put this aside. Now I'm going to get some foil. I'm just going to use these nail transfer foils. And I think I have one in silver. Or, no, I'm going to do it in pink gold. My last little bit of pink gold. I love this. I have more on order. So I'm just going to put it on like this. Now some foils need more burnishing than others. Now see I've got a little air pocket there. I'm just going to pop it. Then I get my card. I'm just going to give this a good old burnish. I don't know how well this is going to show up. We shall find out. And then we're going to rip it off. So 1, 2, 3, rip, and it's on there. Lovely. Very good. I have just a little tiny bit left. All right, so here's our stack. Now I am going to use this little circle cutter. I'm going to do it upside down. I don't want the sharp part. I want the thick part going in. There, that gives it more of a drag, and it will get the metal foil or the transfer foil into the clay better. And there. I am pushing all the way down, by the way. Wasn't intending to, but I am. And there. Now, while this is still on the table, I'm going to smush it back. Try to get it as compact as possible. Again, leaving it on the table on the glass surface or your tile surface, whichever you're using. And I give it a quick little roll. This just ensures that we're going to see some foil in there. Actually, I'm going to get it quite compact because I'm going to put this through the pasta machine, and I don't want it to elongate too much or distort too much. And again, a little roll. I'm happy with that. Okay, now what am I going to do? Get a piece of paper. I'm done with this. Okay, now I'm going to get my flexible blade. And actually, I do want this in a different position. Make sure it's on the well adhered, well stuck onto your tile or your glass, whatever surface you're using. And I'm just going to quite thickly shave, because again I'm going to be putting this through on a number 6. And I don't see any metal. That's okay. Which one's thinner? I think I'm going to use this one here. So what I'm going to do is just shave off a bit of the top, because the metal, although it's sticky, it would stick to the clay actually. I don't know why it didn't come out, why it didn't go down in there. Take some more off. I think this might be a 6 actually. Right, I'm gonna go put this through the machine, and I will put these both through the machine on a 6 and see which one I like best. Guys, you won't believe, I just finished making this and I realized that I wasn't recording. So I'm gonna make another pendant. No, I'm not, I'm gonna make a pair of earrings. So here is the Mokume that came out of the machine. I'm going to use this one. This was the top layer, because it has a little bit of the gold, the rose gold foil in it. This one broke apart, but anyway, so I'm going to use this one. I'm just going to turn it upside down for now and leave the sticky part side up, or so it can, the top can leach a little bit and the bottom will stick to the thing. Anyway, this is what I made. Let's go ahead and make another one. Okay, our earrings. So I'm going to use this shape here. So I'm just going to mark out there. Oh, I didn't even leave a mark. And there. Put more mark in. Hold on. No, change of plan there. We're going to put this on my glass tile. There's air trapped in there, but I really don't care. We're going to put backing on these anyway. Okay, so we're going to go ahead then and we're going to cut these out. In fact, let me get a line. I can't believe the camera didn't record. Oh la la. Okay, I'm going to go right near the edge. And we're going to go 1. And 2. These will not be perfect, but that's okay. They're going to be on opposite sides of your head. And 2. All right, leave that here. Now, I'll do this again with my flexible blade. I'm going to come over to my varnish and mica powder, and I'm going to put, sorry, I need my light. Hold my breath. A medium thick. Oh, it would break now, wouldn't it? The other one did not break. The one I did on camera. Clean my blade. And there we go. The earrings. Okay, let me see this again. Okay, I'm just going to put one thin one and then one thin one, or one thinner and then a thin. And again. That should do. Oof. And then a really thin one. I was so annoyed because the circle went so straightforward. Okay, that'll do. Okay. Oof. All right, so I'm just going to tap this down with a bit of this paper. Make sure it's adhered. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut this in the middle. Then I'm going to come back with my cutter. I need my light again. Goodness me. And push down. Okay. Oops. Oh gosh, Keelan. All right, get my X-Acto knife and just tidy this up. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in the oven. This and the pendant. These we're going to put it in the oven for half an hour at 130 because I'm using Cernit. And then when they're out and they're cooled, then I'm going to put the Mokume in this part here and in this part here. Okay, so I shall be back when they are cured and cooled. Okay, so these are out of the oven and cooled. The edges on this one are pretty good. I'm very happy with this one. These ones here, now let's have a look. All right, I'm just going to pick off the edges here. Just gonna use my nail. That's looking good. Just making sure I'm recording. I don't believe the camera didn't record the circle pendant. Hola. Okay, that one's looking okay as well. All right, so now let's get on to the Mokume part. Now, I think I'll do these off camera and this on camera. Right, basically, I took a piece of paper and it's just a rough guide to how wide I need it, okay? So I'm going to, I think I like this part here the best. So we're gonna stick it down. There we go. And with my rigid blade, I'm going to cut just a slight bit wider. I'll turn it around because I can't see with the lighting. Just a slight bit. Now let's have a look. Okay, that it needs a little bit off, just a little bit. Or I can just stretch it, but I don't want to distort it too much. Tiny bit here. Again, it's awkward for me now because I can't see. I think that should be good. It should be good. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of my Cernit glue. I really like this now. I really, really do. And it's what I love the most is the nozzle, but it's a very good glue. I'm just going to put a little bit right to the edge. Okay. And now we lift this up. And place it in there. And I'm going to press this down with, no, I was going to say maybe texture this, but I'm not going to texture it. And fold it over. A little bit of deli petty circles, I guess you call them. I'm just going to press it down with this. Burnish it down. So there's no fingerprints, and so it will lay flush. So it should lay flush with the silver. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to pull this around, give it a bit of a squeeze. And then just slice it off. That blade's too sharp. So there we have this one. I really like it. I really like it. Another burnish I'm debating whether or not to put some varnish on this. I think I might. And then go back with our blade, just clean it up. All right, so here we have this one. Okay, I'm really happy with it. Very happy with it. Well, actually, try to burnish this a little bit more here. And apply a little bit more pressure this time. Oops, some glue came through here. Let's get rid of that glue. I think it's so, I don't think it's going to show. I think it should dry pretty clear. All right, so here this is. I'm going to put this in the oven. Well, no, I'm not. I'm going to finish these off camera, exact same way, and then put them in the oven, and then we'll come back and we're going to put it back on this and figure out how we're going to hang it. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I've had these leaching for a little bit. If you don't know what leaching is setting your clay on paper to absorb some of the oils so the clay is less sticky. And I don't want sticky clay, but I'm going to do a tube bale. So I decided to do a tube bale purely because I don't want any metal on this one because I'm going with a faux metal effect. I don't really want metal. So I think this is probably a 4mm stick. Actually, and hold on. I'm going to cut it on first of all, let's make sure this is straight. I think that's good. And I'm going to give it just a wee angle cut. And then I'm just going to wrap it around my stick. Get my registration mark. Angle cut as well. And there we go. And it's not sticking to my stick, which is great. I will put the seam at the bottom. And I need to do a little bit of trimming. I think I may have leached this a little bit too much. Fix it up with a sponge. I need my light a bit better. Let me see again. That's better. Okay, we got it. I always roll out more than I need just in case it doesn't work, because that quite often is the case with tube bales. But that's okay now. Again, just going to firm it up there, and it'll still come off. Yeah. She's still loose. Again, that is why I leached it, so I didn't want it too sticky on the stick. Okay, and if it does get too sticky and it's stuck on the stick, you just basically put it in the freezer for 10 or 15 minutes until it hardens and it's easier to get off. Okay, so now I have my clay here with the texture sponge, and I'm just going to cut a circle. Just like that. These are all rolled out in a number 3, by the way. And then put through the pass machine again on a number 3, so with the sponge, so it's a little bit less than a 3 now. Okay, now I'm going to take my Cernit glue. And we're going to put the back on this. Again, I don't want too much. I find that the more glue you put on, the more slippy, the slipperier it is, and you don't want it slippery. You want the clay to stick to the glue, not to be sliding all around with the glue. Get it up on the sides a bit. I don't know if I'm going to put it on the sides actually. Just make sure you don't get any glue on the front. Okay, wipe off my finger. And we put this on. And we start in the middle and then go out. We don't want any air stuck in there. Let's turn this over. Okay. My light still isn't very good. Okay, that's better. I'm just going to use the sponge to keep pressing it in. Okay. Now, while I'm holding it with the sponge, I'm just going to shave off the excess. And I'm going to leave this part here showing. And now I'm going to speed this up while I do the rest of this, because this is a little bit tedious. Okay, I'm happy enough with that. Now let's get all this out of the way. I just get a new piece of paper. I don't want any of this crud on the front. Okay, so now my dilemma was how I'm going to hang it or position it. And because I'm going to use a tube bail, it's going to be very hard to line the tube bail up perfectly so this is horizontal, right? So I'm going to offset it on purpose. So I'm kind of thinking, you know what? I don't even really care. I'm just going to, gosh, I got clay everywhere. I'm just going to put the tube bail on where I think it should go, and I think it's going to go like this. So I'm going to flip it over, and that's where I'm going to concentrate on, just here. So let's see how big our bale is. Like we're gonna go here. Put the seam on the bottom and get this centered. Push it down a little bit so it's not a bit more flush. And I think that will be good. So now I'm just going to take my needle too. I was going to put some glue down, but I don't think I'm going to because this is raw on raw. I'm just going to take this, my needle tool, and just push the clay down. Into the backing. Oh, sugar. Okay, now I need my sponge to fix what I just messed up. And there we go. You know what I forgot? My logo. 1 second. Okay, I always make a few logos in advance. Okay, now before I put this on, I want to do the hang test. So just let me see how this hangs. And it's going to hang like that, and I'm fine with that. Fine with that. Okay. Now for the logo, I am going to use a little bit of glue because I can't really press it in, or I'm going to lose my my logo. So I'm going to just a little dab of glue just here. And where to go here? And just plop it on. Okay, now what's really important when you put a backing on is to make sure there's no air left in there. And what I like to do is take my little itsy bitsy needle tool. Now this is actually insect pins. These are extremely fine. This is a number 00, the finest there is. And I just embedded it in some clay with a little cord end. But anyway, it's very, very fine. And I just like to put one in my eye and then all around the back. And this is, if you're going to use a texture back like I do, it's so forgiving. It really is. So it's, you don't really see the holes, even though the holes are very, very fine. But there we go. So I do believe this is finished and ready for the oven. Before I show you the finished pieces, I'm going to explain a little bit about Buna cord. I get so many questions about what cord I use. So this is Buna cord, B-U-N-A. It's also known as PVC hollow cord. And I'll show you the brown one. Basically, it's just a rubber cord and it's hollow. Okay? I buy it in 3mm and 2mm. Those are my preferred. They come in a vast array of colors. I buy them off of N beads. It's in China, and I will put a link in the description box below. If you buy from them, it's very, very, very inexpensive. They're basically, it's kind of like Temu, but it's not. I know their products are quality, and you do have to pay for shipping, but I buy all my stainless steel chains, my stainless steel earring hooks and whatnot, and my Buna cord from them. They're really quite good. Okay, now let's get on to the pendants. So here is the pendant. I love this one. Love it, love it, love it. So here it is. There's the tube bail. I'm really, really, really happy with this one. I really am. I put this on, I think it's roughly 42, 43 plus the lobster hook Buna cord. And I just put a little silver glass check bead on the end. And this is a 4 centimeter, no, I believe it's a 5 centimeter extension chain. I'm really, really happy with this one. Okay, and then we did the earrings. Here they are. I think they're quite cute, quite funky. I didn't really know what to do to hang them, so I just drilled through and just used jump rings. Really not my usual, but I didn't want to do my wrapped bail because the metal's a different color, so I just wanted to do it this way. Okay, and here's the back, all nice and tidy. Okay. And then I did some more. I actually made these before this tutorial. This is the first one I made. Okay, I didn't have any the Mokume, but I really quite like this one as well. I was just trying around with the metal slices. We have that one too. And I also made some earrings. I made these ones here, again without the Mokume. I'll show you the back. And what I did with this one is I quite simply glued the jump rings on the back, and then I put the backing on. So you can just see there how I secured them. Okay, and these are on French hooks. I really quite like these ones. And then I made one more pair, and this one with the Mokume. Again, this is before the tutorial. And the same technique, the jump ring, and then I put the backing on over it, and these are just on little studs. So I'm really happy with these ones too. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly did, and I'm so pleased with this pendant. I really, really, really love it. If you haven't already, please subscribe. It would really mean a lot to me. Please leave a comment, even just a happy emoji or whatever. It would really help me out. And give me a like if you like this video. That'd be great. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.